Thank you for staying with us. We speak basically, categorically, unfiltered this morning about this worrisome, state of insecurity in Nigeria and the dimensions, it has taken. Actually, this is no more news that we are challenged as a nation within many things. And but very importantly, security, and ours is quite awkwardly interesting, because when it appears like we are making progress, then we just see that there are setbacks, like 3 steps of movement and progress. Then we just see 4, 5, 6 steps of things that are very negative. And it's a sad one. I mean, Nigerians are concerned. The issue of banditry on one side, kidnapping on one side, taking ransom, terrorism, outright taking hands against the state, and Nigerians, especially by some persons under whatever ideology, that on one side. But the issue of banditry, in fact, there are some organizations that are telling the federal government, don't call these people bandits. They are terrorists, because what they do is a crime against the state, killing, unjustly for whatever reason that they think they have. And it has gotten to the level that some Nigerians are now paying bandits, those so-called criminals, just to stay alive. They'll rather stay with them to say, whatever you need, we will give you. Let's go to our farm. Let's farm in peace. By the way, if there's anything called peace in that kind of arrangement, hot peas, I dare say, we will pay you to farm when we are going to harvest. They will still pay the same criminals so that they will be safe, so that they will not be hijacked, that they will not be killed on their farms, and all of those things. And the latest is that so-called peace deal. You have the image on your screen where it has been said that in Faskari local government area, one of those most affected parts of Casino State, that there is a peace deal that was held. And many persons are saying, what is exactly going on? And in that peace deal, you could see in the image on your screen that some of those on the wanted list of the Nigerian state were there. And they are the ones saying, agreeing to a peace. In fact, they even spoke. You get to see the video very shortly. And Nigerians are worried that this is what we are seeing, in our nation. Is this what has become of us as a country? Now, one of those persons who have been vocal about, security is Sheikh Gumi. He's a Muslim, Islamic cleric rather, who has been very vocal about conversations about peace deal, negotiating with bandits and all of those things. He has spoken on the matter again, and he said that peace deal, he spoke on his Facebook page, that's Sheikh Gumi, and said that peace deal that is being held right now, let's keep it, because he's hearing that some persons might end up attacking these bandits, and everything that has been agreed will just be messed up again. Let's just stay with peace deal. And he's raising questions. Sheikh Gumi, what do you know? Why are we always talking on behalf of the bandits? What do they want? How do you say a Nigerian state should make peace deal? This is just one of those local government casino. How many peace deals are we going to have? How many of these bandits? Do they have a national association? Can they talk to themselves? Is this not a failure of the state? Many questions that are waiting, to be answered today. We have somebody who knows. He's a security analyst, expert, and he has been in the business for long, especially in the Niger state, and the part of intelligence, though retired. And I'm talking about Mr. Denis Amachree, MON. Of course, you should know his work has fetched him such a great honor to be rewarded by the Nigerian state for what he has done. He retired as an assistant director in the DSS. Mr. Denis, good to see you again today. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
This is where we are right now, and I'm sure you are not strange to this topic. We officially now, maybe from people of local government, in Faskari local government, your nation, my nation, residents are openly, publicly, there were cameras, there were even videos. We'll play one of them to you shortly, agreeing to bandits. And many of those bandits, some of them are on the wanted list of the Nigerian state. They came up openly, they spoke, and nothing was done. Sheikh Gumi is saying, let's maintain that peace deal. Don't let anybody go and attack them. That is what is happening in your country. What's going on?
Thank you so much. Yes. You see, on the surface, it looks like the failure of our armed forces, that they could not contain these guys until the local government has now come to, or the communities have come to have an agreement with the bandits, and some of these people they've had the agreement with are wanted criminals by the federal government, So let's break that down. I think there are some mistakes that have come up. Number one, fighting bandits is a state issue, not really a federal government issue. It's a state issue. And then, of course, local governments. Do you know that since the fight against insurgency, bandits and terrorists, have you heard of any local government that has come out to do any kind of negotiation or how to counter them or try to support the federal government against them? None. They all fold their hands and relax, So, on the other hand, if Faskari local government has held the bull by the horn, call these guys to come, let's talk, and they talk, and they've agreed that they are not going to attack them, I think it's a peace initiative that should be supported. That should be supported. But at the same time, when the federal government is trying to hold these bandits accountable, they should also be talking with the local government people, the communities. Because I'm sure the communities must have gone to do this out of frustration that, hey, federal troops are not here, policemen are not here, and these people are with us, killing us. If we agree with them, we live in peace. So these are the two sides of the coins that we have. Are
you talking about the carrot and the stick approach, MON here? Because you are talking not just, sometimes in Nigeria, many persons refer to them as ragtag. But with what we see, in fact, at that meeting, you could see one of them fully armed to the teeth with the rounds of magazines strapped to his chest. That means if anything goes on here, we are ready to give it whatever it takes. They've taken up arms against the Nigerian state, against the Nigerian military, against the Nigerian people, turn people to widows and widowers. And some will say it's because of a failure of the... You don't want to agree this is a failure of the state. MON.
That's how I started. If you go back to what I said, I think it looks like a failure of the state in taking care of this, containing this situation until the local government, the Faskari people, have to come to agree with these people. And these people, they're agreeing with them not because it is, when you go into a negotiation, the negotiation is supposed to be one between two strong parties or one party that is after actually getting advantage over the other one. And in this case, I think we are actually begging them that, look, don't kill us again, and then let's live together and do what we have to do. Because if you remember very well, just yesterday, they were killing people in Katsina State, in another local government. They were ambushing, NSCDC people were ambushed in Katsina State. So these are things, these are the double side of the coin I'm talking about, where we have to just oppose it and then see the real path to go. Do we, some people have suggested the negotiation and amnesty like we had in Niger Delta. I personally believe that that's a different situation, and these are criminals who have actually killed for no reason, So how do we juxtapose it? Do we want peace? Do we want to deal with them until they all drop their arms? I think that's something that I think the armed forces have to decide on.
All right, Mr. Amachree. Let's take a closer look at the person of Sheikh Gumi. For someone like Sheikh Gumi to be given this warning, telling Nigeria not to provoke bandits in order to avoid any form of escalation. Let's go to the person of Sheikh Gumi. This same Sheikh Gumi, okay, was barred from entering Saudi Arabia. He was profiled by the Saudi Arabian government. He was deported. He couldn't perform Hajj in Saudi Arabia. This same Sheikh Gumi has made some serious allegations. For instance, Mr. Amachree, Sheikh Gumi said that Israel's intelligence agency, Mossad, was in Nigeria. And he also alleged that there might be clandestine murder of Islamic clerics in Nigeria. These are very serious allegations coming from Sheikh Gumi. Now he's saying Nigerians shouldn't provoke these bandits. My question is, how credible is this warning of Sheikh Gumi, and how seriously should Nigerians take this warning? Is it just, does it really have credible insider information, or is this just a political statement coming from just an ordinary Islamic cleric, so to speak?
What I want to say here is that I will take the message and forget the messenger. Because the messenger, I know Sheikh Gumi, even when I was in service, Sheikh Gumi has been a rabble-rouser, you know, who has gone around creating problems and everything, going to talk with bandits, you know, in the forest, and then, of course, coming out and making some public statements, you know. Sheikh Gumi is biased. He's biased in the sense that he does not see any good with government. As far as he's concerned, we have to interpret it in form of religious, you know, religious. These are Muslim boys. So why is federal government killing our Muslim boys? You understand? That's the way Sheikh Gumi thinks, you know. But he has had a few brushes with the federal government, and I think they are still looking at him because there are certain statements that he has made that he has to come and verify with the states.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, Mr. Amachree, sorry to cut in, still talking about Sheikh Gumi right now, some of the allegations he has made in the past. You said in your opening answer, you actually said that if the people have made a peace deal with these bandits, that perhaps we should just allow that peace deal to stand. My question is, are you not concerned if the government should support such peace deals with bandits? Tomorrow, the bandits will increase their demands, okay? They're going to keep raising the bar for the people, because when the bandits have the impression, you are a security expert, when bandits have the impression that their deals are being honored, then they'll keep raising the bar. Are you not concerned about that?
I am very concerned about that, and that's why I said that this particular arrangement, you know, is a little bit faulty, because they would have brought all the parties concerned into that agreement. You know, right now it's between the communities. Even Sheikh Gumi is not part of it. It's between the community and the bandits, you know. And then, of course, some of these bandits are wanted by the federal government. Do you understand? So if they really wanted to continue, they would have called the federal government or state government or the police to be part of this arrangement. But this one is a local private arrangement that they've done, you know, and I don't think I can see it lasting for a very long time, because these people have had agreements with so many communities and they turned back to attack them. Bandits have had agreements with Kaduna state government when El Rufai was the governor. And then, of course, when he stopped paying them, they turned around and started, you know, attacking institutions in Kaduna. So these are people that you cannot sit down and have a very good conversation with. Now, talking about Sheikh Gumi again, you know, he tried to be a rabble-rouser, and then, of course, he tried to raise issues. Why is he saying that there are Israeli spies inside
Mossad?
Nigeria? Mossad spies are in Nigeria. So if he knows them, why don't he just go and tell the security agencies that, see, oh, there are some Mossad people that I'm suspecting that are here, you know. Instead, he will go and make a very careless public statement. And of course, we don't have to take him serious as security agents, you know, because if a Mossad agent is operating, actually, it will take more than Sheikh Gumi to recognize that agent.
Absolutely. Sorry, Mr. Amachree.
Or anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. But if Mossad is here, is it really a big deal? Because they have spies everywhere. The US has CIA in Nigeria. You are aware of that. They have CIA everywhere. So what's the big deal if actually, you know, Mossad is in Nigeria?
But you know, the angle that Sheikh Gumi is taking it, because he's doing Israeli is fighting Palestinians, Palestinians are Muslims, and Muslims are our people, and then those who are fighting our people are in Nigeria. Do you understand? Because he has started this thing again. After all, look at the government. The government is a Muslim ticket. Right now, the president is a Muslim, the vice president is a Muslim. Do you understand? If we know the kind of statements that he has also made when the president was a Christian. Okay, so he's a rabble rouser. Like I said, he likes to make these funny noises, trying to. And there is another one. There's another copy of him in Lagos. I'm not going to mention his name, but he knows himself. He also does that using religion, you know, as a weapon, as a threat, you know, in order to either gain favor or gain followers against the Nigerian government. But it's somebody that, like I told you, they're actually looking at him. And of course, he has some questions to answer with the security agencies.
All right. You know, Dr. Amachree, I'm just looking at the level in which we have reached as a nation, in which residents, you talked about frustration yourself, have resorted to fate. This peace deal, what does it mean? MON, some will say it means Nigeria state, you can no more protect us. Let us live with our abusers and find whatever peace means with them. And we talk about these peace deals. It is known. It's just not because someone will say, oh, sorry. Somebody will say, please forgive us. And the other one will say, okay, I will let you be. No, there are give and takes. Sometimes money exchanges, cattle exchange ends. Whatever we demand, you give us. Is that the kind of state that maybe the DSS have been left to secure, that the Nigerian police have been left to secure, that the Nigerian army, every military formations have been left to secure, and that is just in one of those states, not just even the state, Faskari local government. You said it yourself. In the same Casino state, bandits were attacking people. It is reported today, I think from the Daily Trust, 52 people were killed yesterday again, or abducted rather, in Zamfara state. Yet residents of Faskari local government are telling the abusers, please have mercy on us. I ask again, shouldn't Nigerian states and people that are paid to secure us, and even political leaders, bury their head in shame that some Nigerians would rather live with their abusers and beg them to spare their life? This is not Gaza. This is not Kiev. This is not Russia-Ukraine war. This is Nigeria.
Well, your comment is very stiff against the Nigerian government.
Well, here we are. That's a reality.
Yes, it's not the reality, because I am surprised that the wins are not reported by you.
No, we do. We do here.
There have been a lot of wins.
Yeah, we do.
Especially recently, you know. I know that people on ground will be having a very tight situation around them because it affects their livelihood, it affects all kinds of things. But if you look at it holistically, you will see that the security agents have really redoubled their effort in the past, you know, in the recent past. And you find out that a lot of bandits have been dealt with, arrested, some have surrendered, and many people are trying to make sure that they try to either, those who have surrendered, they process them and everything, de-radicalize them. I personally don't believe in de-radicalization. I believe that for those people who surrender, especially in Zamfara State, where the two major heads of bandits have, surrendered, they should not just allow them. They should take them to court, prosecute them, and then, of course, jail them because of all the things they've done. Because if you fight them, and you see, there is a tendency in Nigeria for people to compare this with what happened in the Niger Delta. Those people in the Niger Delta were fighting for freedom. And then, of course, that was affecting, everybody. And then when the federal government sees that this is the situation, they told them, okay, drop your arms, all of you come out. They drop their arms, they come out, and they gave them amnesty. Well, these ones are fighting, and some of them are even from foreign countries. Some of them are criminals that have, wiped out a whole bunch of villages. Right now, Nigeria has the largest number of IDP camps in the world. So you cannot say, oh, let us leave you, let's negotiate or something like that. I believe that the carrot and stick can go on, even if the carrot and stick goes on.
Mr. Amachree, let me quickly butt in here,
yes,
because we'll be going on break very soon. Now, some of those most wanted, they were there yesterday. Among them is one Dan Tawawe, a notorious figure from Katsina, who was one listed among the country's most wanted bandit kingpins rather, pardon me. Ado Aleru, he even spoke yesterday. The picture, is one of those that we put up earlier in that place. Babaro, Isia Kwashengarwa, many of them were there. If a producer can just put them up. And they spoke so publicly, like relaxed mood. Everybody was saying whatever they want and all of those things. And these are the people on the list. Now, the negotiation, by the way, we must clarify, it wasn't made by local government as an official, as part of the state, but it was by the communities, that they made it because they were tired. And some of them were there. What good can come out of this? Remember, former governor of Katsina State, Bello Masari, had this initiative twice. He even took pictures with them. Later, when he left government, he said, that particular decision, one of the biggest mistakes of his life, because this guy would never hear. It will never work. Paskari people are doing the same. Are we not in a serious problem now, Dr. Amachree?
Well, we're in a serious problem. Like you mentioned earlier, rightfully mentioned out, was that this negotiation is not between even the local government or the state government or the federal government. So it is between the communities. And I think what the government or local government can do is try to go in, get in there. Yes, of course, Nigeria is a very large country. It's not that, Alero is having a meeting there, let us go quickly and catch him. No, it doesn't happen like that. Nigeria is a very, very large country, and of course, we've mentioned this in many, many fora. Police, they are not enough. Army, not enough. DSS, not enough. The whole of NSCDC, police, Army, Navy, Air Force, all of them put together, they are not even up to 1.1 million. In a country of 2.3,
230.
230 million people, and the landmass is so big, so these are salient points that the ordinary person will not see, but these are things that are actually happening on ground. we've had situation in Adamawa State where Boko Haram came and took over 11 local governments, during the Jonathan period. Remember, it took the deployment of mercenaries to go in there and flush them out. So these are salient points that you people should know. And I will really, implore the Nigerian media, because most of these people, they give them publicity. Like you said, Alera was there, fully blown, making a statement, But we should know that this is a wanted guy. But we're giving him the coverage and we're giving him the publicity, So this war has to be fought by all of us. Because if we leave it for security agencies alone, it will take us a very long time.
Well, we must just talk about it, not because we're not saying it because from the narrative of they are powerful. No criminal should be powerful but than the state. Never. And that's why many Nigerians are worried that this is what has become of us. This is Nigeria, my country, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in everything. But now residents have resorted to fate and they are making peace deal, personal private arrangements with the abusers to say, please keep us. But many things needs to be said. You talked about mercenary, MON, where you said during Goodluck Jonathan time, just before the elections, just for a few months, they were able to flush out many of these criminals, root them off our lands. If those mercenaries could do that, why can't we do that as a people? Is it funding? Is it logistics? Is it training? Is it skills? We'll look into that and other matters after now. We'll take a quick break. Please stay with us.
Festered for so long because the Industrial Revolution in Europe provoked high standards of slaves. The 16-year civil war also caused the emergence of new powerful kingdoms like Ibadan.
Thanks for staying with us. This morning, we are still looking at the comments made, the state of the nation, and of course, the comments made by Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi, warning the Nigerian government not to provoke, bandits, okay, so that the nation doesn't break into chaos. I'm saying that the peace deals should be sustained, talking about insecurity in some parts of the nation. And we still have with us a security expert and analyst, Mr. Denis Amachree. Thank you, Mr. Amachree, for staying with us.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Amachree, let's take a quick look at the security implications of what Sheikh Gumi has said. In your words, for instance, let us step aside from the messenger. We have looked at Sheikh Gumi as a person. Now, let's look at the message. My question is, if his warnings are anything to go by, what does it say about Nigeria's current counter-banditry and counter-terrorism strategies? Are we really prepared for an escalation at this time as a nation?
I think personally, I would say that we are working towards the end of all this banditry and terrorism in Nigeria, because when you look at how we have fought it for 16 years, we've not been able to make a headway. A lot of people have gotten rich out of it. A lot of people have killed. A lot of people have been killed and stuff like that. So when we look at it properly, I think we also recognize that the military was not working well together. The police is not working hand in hand properly with the military also before. In fact, it is supposed to be a state issue, not a government issue. federal government issue. Because when it comes to federal government, then you draw in the army. The army is supposed to protect the land, the territorial integrity of Nigeria, okay? But not to be fighting inside. That should be left for police. It's a police action. But we've called them in and they've got involved. On almost 32 states of the Federation, you have military people, you know, actively operating. I think this strategy has to be looked at again. You know, they look at that strategy. At the same time, they should also train the police. If they feel that the police is not well trained enough, you know, most of the terrorist situation in the United States here are handled by police, even sheriff, local government police.
Absolutely.
Because they are well SWAT. They have SWAT, what we call
special
SWAT.
weapons and tactics.
Yes, these guys are, you know, I visited their exhibition the other day, and you need to see the kind of equipment they carry, you know. So why can't we do it for our own police? I know that the police actually was weakened some years back, you know, when they were fighting, when military government was in shape, you know, the police was even very, very tough. And what they did was deliberately weaken the police. But the realities are changing right now, and we should go back and then strengthen the police, because we cannot be seen to be negotiating with bandits. They are the ones to even be begging, you know, that they want to surrender. I know some of them are surrendering, but when you see things like this, and then of course characters like Sheikh Gumi will come out and amplify it, then we need to change tactics.
All right. Now, so many questions, and let me start with these. You know, Mr. Amachree, you said something the other time. Two questions. Number one is, as it currently is right now, you have stated that point, that Nigeria, or some Nigerians, especially with this negotiation, they are negotiating from a place of weakness. And a state like Nigerians have resorted, you know, this is more like a self-help, actually. So what can they do in as much that they believe the Nigerian state cannot protect them? What more can they do? That's number one. Number two, you talked about what happened in the, you know, twilight of Goodluck Jonathan administration, especially before the election, where it brought in mercenaries. And you talked about the Damara situation, where those mercenaries were able to flush out many of these criminals, neutralize them. And so, I'm not sure, possibly, I don't have the numbers, maybe you do. I'm not sure there were up to 5,000 of them that came. And they were able to, you know, get that huge success. Now we have at least our Nigerian military in hundreds. If those mercenaries were able to do that, why are the Nigerian security personnel not able to do that consistently, repeatedly over time? Is it skills? Is it weapons? Is it expertise? Or political undertone?
Well, let me answer you, you know, as a security professional.
Yes, sir.
You know, because one thing I know is that there has been a lot of mixture with politics and security. They've mixed it together, and we don't know the color of what is happening again in the country, you know, because that is very, very funny. In other countries, you separate them. You separate them. Here, they even overuse the military or even the security agencies, the police, you know, depending on the government or the party in power and stuff like that, you know, and that's not exactly what we want to happen. When it comes to security, we should face it and deal with it. I didn't get your first, you know, I skipped
my
the
first question is the resident of Askari local government, obviously with what you said, they are negotiating from a place of weakness.
Yes.
Isn't that a bad thing, and can that be sustained?
No, I told you, we've said it already, you know, you don't negotiate on the point of weakness. Because when you do that, you give the enemy a stronger point, especially if the enemy is a bandit or a terrorist. You know, you don't do that. You will pound him in such a way that he will say, please, I'm surrendering, or let us negotiate.
So why are we not pounding? MON, why are we not pounding them? And as Arafat said, bomb all of them. There'll be collateral. Everybody will be fine. Why can't we do that?
Like I told you, if you're listening, I want you to be listening to me very, very carefully.
I am. We are.
Yeah, I'm talking to you as an intelligence, you know, professional. One thing you have to realize is that politics has mixed with security. You mentioned El-Rufai. Go back and look at his speeches. El-Rufai was one of the guys who brought bandits into Nigeria. He has never denied it. Many people have come out to say, yes, you are one of them who brought them, and he has not denied it. El-Rufai was one of them who was paying them, you know, when they were brought in, you know, for a purpose. And when that purpose was overtaken by events, El-Rufai was paying them. And when he cannot continue paying them, that was when they turned around to say, we are going to fight you. And now they are fighting him. Last week, El-Rufai came out and said, I will never pay bandits. So when you look at it, you will see that politicians unashamedly will be saying one thing from one side of their mouth and the other one on the other side of the mouth. And they are just playing with the Nigerian populace, you know. And many people don't know because, you know, these are things that people forget. I don't know if you remember exactly what I've just said about the statements.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We had that topic here. We even played the video.
But do you know that many Nigerians don't know? They don't even remember.
He said that on a live program in 2017.
Yes, but you know that there are people that have forgotten or don't even realize that this was the situation. So when you bring these politicians to come in there, they cause what we call national security threats to the country.
All right, Mr. Amachree. Yeah.
Yes.
Just before I ask you my question, now that you mentioned Nasir El-Rufai, so if the security agencies of Nigeria know so much about him, why have they not moved against him? That's a big question. Okay, you reiterated the point here that he actually paid bandits. So if the government know this, the security agents know this, why is Nasir El-Rufai still walking free and doing what he's doing? If truly you have something on him.
Let me ask you another question. I will ask you another question. Who is the government? You know, who is the government? You see, we are operating in a country where the justice system is faulty. The rule of law does not hold. If you do that in the United States here, they will pick, the FBI will knocking on your door before you finish that statement.
So why can't we do that here? Whose fault is it? Because definitely not the people.
That's what I'm telling you. You have mixed politics with security. Do you remember what Senator Oshiomhole said? I'm going to remember, you know, reminding you. Oshiomhole said that no matter which kind of crime you have committed, no matter how much you have stolen, just cross over to our party and you are free.
Which is an indictment, Mr. Amachree, which is an indictment on the current administration.
Listen to me. And it is happening because people, you see the wave of decamping. People are decamping to APC. Some of them are not decamping because they are going to a popular party or they are looking for a better leader. They are decamping so that EFCC will not pursue them. Do you understand? And that is the politicization of security. And this is happening right now. So what do you want to say? An indictment on who? It's an indictment on the Nigerian government that we run.
That's my point exactly, Mr. Amachree. That's my point.
Yes. So you find out that, you know, to answer these questions or to deal with the problem at hand, we don't have to look at political or religious connections to it. We deal with it as a security problem, and then we can have a headway, we can solve the problem. But yeah, okay, we are trying to solve a security problem. Then, oh, that bad. But you know, this state is our state. It's for the ruling party. If we try and do anything that will make them angry, we'll lose that state. All
right, Mr. Amachree.
Let's leave them.
All right, which brings me to my question. Mr. Amachree, let's take a closer look at our defense strategy, the policies and our rules of engagement. For instance, if we have someone like Sheikh Gumi who has access to bandit leaders, who has some kind of insider information, so to say, as we are seeing it right now, so should the government of Nigeria be engaging Sheikh Gumi at on an official level at this time, since he seems to know so much? He knows where these bandit leaders are. He has access to them. You also said, Mr. Amachree, that our military and other security agencies are not sufficient. We do not have enough to tackle insurgency, banditry, and terrorism. So if we have someone like Sheikh Gumi, is there any possibility for the government to engage him on an official scale now, since he has access to these bandits and terrorists?
Not at all. The government knows Sheikh Gumi. I know Sheikh Gumi when I was in government. In fact, if I can remember very well, I didn't do it directly, but I know that we brought him into the headquarters and then he was interrogated once. You know, we know who he is. We know what he stands for. He's a religious bigot. He's busy pursuing religious agenda. So to bring him in, what is he going to do?
But he has access. The point is, Mr. Amachree, he has access to these bandits leaders.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you something. It's not that Nigerian security agencies don't know where these bandits are. They do. They do. You know, they do. Quote me. They know where these people are. And in those ungoverned spaces where they operate, there are a lot of times they use human shield. They use the villagers to cover themselves when there is a drone or there is an, you know, a military invasion coming. They use the people. And you as a military man, now what are you going to gain? You want to kill your Nigerians because of some 20 bandits? You kill a whole village? Yes, you don't want that kind of collateral damage because these are Nigerians. And then, of course, we are our military is a disciplined military, known all over the world, bounded by international treaties and laws. We don't behave like bandits. We don't go in there and start shooting everybody. You know, we have to be very, very careful. Otherwise, our country or the military leaders are going to be taken to the International Court of Justice and then jailed.
Mr. Amachree, shouldn't we then be changing?
These are things that you should know. It is not a matter of what are they doing. They are doing a lot, but you need to understand what they're doing.
Shouldn't we then be changing tactics? In as much you talked about the discipline of the Nigerian military known worldwide, and these criminals, because they are criminals, and they keep using these to perpetrate their evil. They will have human cover because they know that the Nigerian military will not want to, you know, have such a collateral damage on their image. So they keep doing that, penetrating places, wreaking havoc, slaughtering people, abducting people. They keep using it, and they know that they won't come at us the moment we have this, and this has gone for years. Shouldn't we be changing tactics, you know, to make sure the Nigerian state should be ahead of them? We should not be playing catch up, isn't it?
I agree. And like I said again, you might not be listening to me very well because I mentioned the change of tactics here. I was the one who said it earlier on. If you go back to the video or the tapes, you'll find out. You know, we have to change tactics.
All right.
We're doing the same.
Sorry. My colleague Daniel, let me pick it up from what he said about Sheikh Gumi, that shouldn't we be inviting him? You have confirmed on this program, some would say he's a bandit apologist. Okay, he's a religious bigot, and some of those things that he does. But his statements are not helpful to the Nigerian state. Whatever he has been saying, is it not detrimental to this fight against insecurity in Nigeria? Or anybody like Sheikh Gumi, like anybody can just come up and spoke on behalf of the bandits and nothing will happen.
I told you that Sheikh Gumi has questions to answer. He has been visiting the DSS and answering questions.
Yes, the thing he has been doing it for years. For years, since Buhari days.
You have to understand something.
Yeah.
There is a delicate balance that is being carried out by the military. I'm not talking of politicians now. The security agencies and the military are, walking a delicate balance.
What's the balance?
Because sometimes they want to. Yes, most of the time, you know that they are not independent. Are you aware of that?
Really?
The security agencies, yes. The DSS is not independent. The police is not independent. Even the military is not, because in fact, actually, they even address the president as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Can you arrest your commander? No. Okay? But here in the United States, the FBI is independent. Okay? The police is independent. Independent to the length of following the rule of law. So even if you are a judge, if you break the law, like you are speeding on the road above the speed limit, they will arrest you and you will go to court. Presidents have been known to be arrested in this country, indicted. Even in Brazil, was it 2 weeks ago, one of their former prime ministers has been jailed. Now, we don't do that in Nigeria because we have, put the security agencies under the politicians, and the politicians have this big tendency of abusing the security agencies. Okay?
Okay.
So it's a complicated thing whereby many people don't understand. So to understand it, you have to look at what is written on the wall, and then of course the body language of what is happening. Why is it that if you cross from another party into the ruling party, all your sins are forgiven and you are not going to jail, and if you are in another party, then EFCC will pursue you, and then of course, these are the intricacies that you have to understand. I am not going to explain this to you all the way from America. You know it.
All right, absolutely. All right, Mr. Amachree, let's take a closer look at our intelligence agencies now, which is actually your own domain. You said it, you made it clear, you said Nigerian military actually know where these bandits are, but they can't just move in because the bandits, the terrorists, they use human shields. You're trying to, avoid collateral damage, which brings us to the question of the effectiveness of our intelligence agencies. I read a lot about, other intelligence agencies in the world, like the CIA, like Mossad in Israel, and how they operate. In all honesty, Mr. Amachree, how would you rate Nigeria's intelligence agency? Because, like you said, if this is not a fight for the military, then how about intelligence? How far have you gone as far as infiltration is concerned? So how would you really rate intelligence agencies in Nigeria?
They are doing very, very well. They are doing super well. Super well in the sense that, you see, when somebody, I tell you a story. I just tell you one little story here. I had, when I was working with one of the international companies, the vice president of the company came. And when he came, I was driving with him in Lagos on Ikorodu Road. And we see rickety cars that are moving. And he asked me, he said, who are the mechanics that are repairing these rickety cars? I said, yeah, there are mechanics, you know. He said, which kind of equipment they are using to keep it on the road? I said, they use basic equipment, you know, spanner and all those kind of things. But the cars are moving, you can see. And he said he would like to meet one of them and shake their hands. Because in America, even if somebody scratch you or this thing, you remove the scratch part and put a new one, right? If somebody hits you, you remove the place. If your battery is weak, you remove it and throw it away and buy a new one. But in Nigeria, we have to either recharge the battery, we have to panel beat the place and stuff like that. So you find out that there are, you know, we do a lot with little, and that's what the security agencies are doing in Nigeria, because you are comparing us to Mossad. Let me tell you one shocker. Nigerian defense budget, you know, is smaller. Google it, you will find out. Is smaller than the budget of the New York police, New York City police.
I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact.
Oh, you do?
I know.
So you cannot compare. New York police, that's only one big city.
Yeah, the NYPD.
Is bigger than our defense budget. So think about that. Then your question is answered.
So much to really look into there. You know, we've talked about the place of politics in all of this and how it's been a problem in this fight against insecurity. There's a religious dimension as well, because a few months ago, when the defense headquarters talked about the presence of those called Lakurawa in Nigeria, they said they came as clerics, they came as evangelists into those communities, you know, propagating whatever gospel they had at that time, and philanthropy, and, you know, infiltrated the people before turning against them and all of these things. And, you know, people were open-handed because of that part of the country to say, oh, these are our brothers, these are your sisters. But that point has been made and needs to be made, that even when you now find out that these people have taken arms against the people, maybe not against you, maybe against the people, you should know that it's just a matter of time. If they are turning against people and they are for you, they might turn against you. How can we get ahead this issue of politics and religion that has been a problem? I remember during Jonathan time, there are many politicians who came out, in fact, including the late Muhammadu Buhari, who said a fight against Boko Haram is a fight against the North. And so that dimension has not gone away. Politicians keep doing this, and the religious clerics too keep seeing some of those people as one of them. Oh, we are due for a break, but if we can just do this in 2 minutes, you know, how do we get away from this? Because it's not going away. 2027 is almost here. This dimension will come up again. Somebody will still come and say, these are our brothers again. And lives are being lost. MON, how do we go ahead? But I understand we must go on this break. Please forgive me. You will continue from there when we come back. Stay with us.